Let's bring you some other news we're tracking now. A major leadership battle is unfolding in the Eastern Cape as the ANC's biggest region in the province, EC OR Tambo, holds its crucial elective conference this weekend. The outcome will be key in shaping the province's political future and could even pave the way for Oscar Mabuyane to return for a third term as ANC provincial chair when the Eastern Cape conference sits. Newzroom Afrika's Sipha Kema is following this story for us and joins us now live. Obviously, we know, Sipha, that the Eastern Cape is key to the ANC's electoral wins.
Absolutely, as you're talking about national there. Now, when it comes to when the provincial conference sit, this region actually is quite key, Michelle. We're talking about the second biggest regional for the ANC actually nationally. Now you could just imagine the kind of influence that this region has. Now, when we talk about the battle lines being drawn, that's what we mean when we're coming to the OR Tambo's 7th elective conference, Michelle. Now, I do have the current convener and also running to be the chair of the region, hoping to return, Mr. Ngondwane. I mean, when we're talking about this conference, it's a much anticipated, highly contested, as it could influence a lot when it comes to the provincial conference when it sits. Let's talk about the state of readiness as well as safety, because there have been talks about concerns regarding how heated this conference could get.
Thank you very much. I just want firstly to allay any fears that this conference could be plagued to chaos and crisis. That's not what we're anticipating. Quite a lot of where there's been disagreements have been resolved through the ANC internal process. Even as we speak, some committees are still listening to some appeals, this and that. So we're comfortable that when the conference starts, all such matters will have been sorted. Mm-hmm.
And when we talk about now your campaigning or maybe your possible return coming up against Lawrence Mambila, who's also hoping to be an incoming regional chairperson, and you are also hoping to make your return.
Yes, definitely. I also am hoping to make a return, but the real issue is not so much about myself or Mambila. It's about the decision of the branches of the ANC, because whichever side emerges, what is important is that the people of EC OR Tambo must be serviced and must be well represented.
And now, Mr. Ngondwane, the last conference, the 2022, we saw some issues that were stemming within the OR Tambo branches, the various branches, your KSDs. There were issues and disputes when it came to branches. Has that also been resolved, or could we anticipate some of those issues coming into this elective conference?
As stated earlier on, even as we speak, the PTRC and the NTRC are still on their work resolving such matters. Our anticipation is that by the end of the day today, all such matters will have been resolved. All we'll request is for everyone to accept the outcome of the internal processes of the organization, so that we allow our ANC to continue to live.
All right, thank you so much. That's Ms. Ngondwane Michelle there, who's also running to return to be the chairperson of the region. As I've mentioned, that we know that this is the second biggest region for the ANC in the country, right after eThekwini region. Although it has a lot more numbers when it comes to when it compares to eThekwini, but it's just that eThekwini region has more registered party members, but this is a really big region that has a lot of influence, especially at province level. I mean, we saw even with Mabuyane's predecessor in 2017, when this region stood behind Ngcukaitobi, leading, which allowed then Mabuyane to lead and topple over Phumulo Masualle, using this particular region. Now, for the first time in a very long time, Michelle, the OR Tambo is known or said by the branches to be split between Mabuyane and, of course, his then ally, Ngcukaitobi. And you know, Michelle, when it comes to conference times, there's always talks, especially coming from branch level. There's always issues about factions and cracks that are starting to emerge. Well, we'll give you that lowdown when we come back for our next live crossing, as we give you updates from the ground here in Tata ahead of that OR Tambo Regional Conference.